Hey everybody, and everybody who's on here. So my job, what I do is I'm known as the Queen of Pitch. That's right. I've grossed a little over $2.5 billion in my career, and mostly I've pitched through a television camera. I did 197 infomercials, 30 years on home shopping, and I can pretty much pitch anything. As people like to say, "Oh, Forbes, you can pitch ice to Eskimos," to which I say, "No, I'm smarter than that. Eskimos don't need ice. I would only pitch them firewood and blankets." Yeah, I'm pretty good at what I do. I love teaching it, and I've got some links below if you want to spend some time with me. But right now, I just want to talk about the power of pitching and what it means in terms of impact. So let's think for a second, what is a pitch? Well, at its core, a pitch is just a moment of communication. It's an exchange of an idea, a request, or a story. But what I've learned over the course of my career is that a pitch is truly so much more than that. It's not just about selling a product or landing a deal. It's about opening doors, creating connections, and making an impact that can ripple through the lives of others. So when I was first asked to pitch, it was a moment that truly changed my life. Remember like it was yesterday. I was an actress. I was still trying to get my big job in Hollywood when Jake of Body by Jake started this new network, and he asked me to sell a pen to a camera. And I thought, a pen? Really? How am I supposed to sell a pen and make it exciting? But in that moment, I realized something, that it's not about the product, but it is about how you connect with the person either in front of you or behind the camera. It's about crafting a story that resonates, that grabs attention, and that ultimately makes someone feel something. Not traditionally what you think of a salesman in a used car lot. No, this is so much deeper and so much more fascinating. And when I realized the true power of a pitch, it isn't about what you're selling. It is truly about what you're giving to the person listening. In fact, I often say, stop telling people that they need what you're doing. Nobody needs it. Get them to want what you have, and you will win every time. Now think about this. Every time you pitch, you're not just influencing a decision, you're changing the course of someone's thinking. You're creating a moment when somebody can see a possibility that maybe they didn't see before. You're showing them a future, whether it's a better product, a healthier lifestyle, or smarter investments. And that's where the influence makes real impact. So for me, pitching it became more than just a career. It became a way to influence, to inspire, to change lives. And whether I was doing an infomercial or selling a fitness product or helping an entrepreneur craft their perfect pitch, I was helping people see beyond their current circumstances and move towards a better version of their future. Impact through communication. Well, what I've learned is that communication is the key to impact. See, it's how we connect with each other. It's how we share ideas, how we spark change. And over the years, I've seen firsthand how a well-crafted pitch can transform not just businesses, but people's lives. One of the things that I love most about teaching others how to pitch, it's that moment when they realize that their voice matters. When they can see that they can communicate their value and their worth, and what happens, oh, it's so delicious, they suddenly become empowered. They stop holding back and start stepping into their full potential. Can you just imagine this for yourself? Stepping into your full potential because you have a command of the English language, because people will do what you pretty much tell them to. You lay out something, they want it, you've got it, you close the deal, and boom, everybody's a winner. You know, I've had the privilege of watching so many people take what they've learned about pitching and use it to grow their businesses, to land major deals, or even, and this is probably the most impactful for me, find the confidence to stand up and speak their truth. That's the real impact for me. Seeing others realize that their voice, their story, their pitch can make a difference. Now, I got to say that my legacy, it isn't just about the products I've pitched or the sales I've made. It is truly about the people I've empowered, and I appreciate that and hope that you join me. Again, there's a link below that you can get started to up-level your pitch. See, I've spent many years teaching others how to harness the power of pitching to open doors, create connections, and simply build opportunities that maybe they didn't realize existed. For me, it's about showing people that pitching isn't just a skill, it is truly a tool for transformation. And when you learn to pitch, you learn how to communicate with purpose, how to influence with integrity, and how to make a lasting impact. And I believe that that really is the heart of what pitching has done for me and what I aim to give to you. It's a journey to find your voice, tell your story, and use that story to touch the lives of others. And that, my friends, is how pitching creates impact, not just for you, but for the world around you. Kind of fascinating, isn't it? The goal here is really for you to see the depth of the impact that you can make through communication. And I don't think most people just obviously realize that. So I'm going to say that we can truly make a difference together. I'm hoping that you click on the link below. I have several things that I offer. I've got my 1 Minute to Millions intro script. I've got Pitch Like a Pro. I've got a whole variety of things that I love teaching. And my goal right now is to embark just a little bit on the impact of personal stories. See, the real power of impact isn't in how many people you reach, I think, but how deeply you touch each person's life. I've always believed that success isn't just measured by the dollars earned or the deals closed, but by the lives that we motivate along the way. And throughout my journey, well, I've had the privilege to witness firsthand how pitching, when done with authority and heart, can create a ripple effect that changes people's lives. So what I want to do here is I just want to share a few stories that illustrate the profound impact that's possible when you step into your power, and use your voice to inspire action. I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine, a young entrepreneur who came into one of my boot camps, very unsure of himself. He had ideas, had the passion, but lacked confidence. He just didn't believe that he was good enough to stand up and make a pitch. Well, something magical happened during my boot camp. Through a series of the exercises we do and the feedback that you get, not only from me, but people in our group and our Facebook group, he began to see the value that he brought to the table. We worked on honing the message, making it clear, concise, and impactful. And I'll tell you a couple of words that you want to remove from your vocabulary. Stop saying the word basically. Stop saying actually, like, and Stop trying. Oh, I'm trying to touch you. I'm trying to do this. Don't try. Learn that life is about winning or learning. There's no failing, so stop trying. And I watched as he practiced and refined it over the week. We do boot camp for 5 days. Not just the pitch in himself, but the belief behind it. Well, after boot camp, he went on to pitch his business to potential investors. I will tell you very happily, he landed a deal that catapulted his company to a whole new level. I know I've got the whole thank you note to prove it. And that's one of my favorite things, guys. If you love what I'm saying, I would love a thank you. But the most powerful part of this story isn't the deal. It was the shift that happened inside of him, and you could see it. Everybody could see it. He found his voice, and in doing so, he unlocked a whole new level of confidence and a possibility for him, his family, and his own legacy. And that's the true impact of pitching. It's not just about the outcome. It is about the transformation that happens in the process. And I got another story that's very near and dear to my heart and my own fitness journey. So many of you know that I experienced a life-altering moment when I survived a traumatic tour bus accident in Iceland. That moment forced me to reevaluate my life, my health, and my purpose. And I made a decision. I flipped a switch to take control of my own health in a way that I had never done before. And if you followed me on Instagram, or maybe you haven't, I've got a little movie I'm happy to share with you about this. Over the course of 99 days, I lost 12% pounds. I lost 25 pounds and 12% body fat. I transformed my body at 64. Wow. And I also transformed my mindset. I went from surviving what was a terrible accident, get this, to competing in a bikini fitness competition at age 64. And I have a medal to show for it. But the real impact of that journey wasn't just about what I achieved. It was about what that journey has done to inspire others. Oh my gosh. I've had more impact doing that than almost anything I've ever done in my life. Countless people come up to me saying my story gave them courage to take control of their own health, to push past their limits, and to believe that they could just achieve the impossible. Well, that's the ripple effect of impact. When your journey becomes a source of strength for others, you create a wave of change that goes far beyond your own personal success. I need a little sip of water. This is so much fun. I hope you're enjoying this. For me, one of my greatest joys is seeing people that I've worked with go on to create impact in their own communities. So I was just thinking of a woman that I coached. She'd struggled for years to make her own business profitable. She had a great product, but she couldn't find her footing when it came to pitching it, just couldn't put it together. Well, through our work together, she learned to communicate her value with confidence and clarity. And she went from hesitantly asking for sales or working for free to confidently, consistently closing deals. And I'll tell you what, it didn't stop there. She went on to mentor other women in her industry, teaching them the very same strategies that she learned from me and helping to build their businesses. I often say that I can't reach 1 million people on my own, But if I can touch 10,000 of you and you can touch 10,000 people, I can reach my millions, because that's the way the ripple effect happens. When you empower one person, they go on to empower many more. And that impact multiplies. It touches lives of people you may never meet. You may never know who they are. And in fact, one of my favorite stories about that is I was on Clubhouse, which was an audio app, and Patrick Starr, who I'd followed as a makeup artist, was in the room. He has 4 million followers. It was kind of cool that he was there. And at one point he pinged me to go into a private room. And I'm like, did Patrick Starr just ask to talk to me? I'm like, okay. I go in there and he said, Forbes, I have to share with you. I was a 15-year-old Filipino boy in high heels in Tampa, Florida, over a dozen years ago, sitting and watching your speech about pitching. And I think about you all the time. You completely changed my life. That's impact. So what I've learned is that the true power of pitching and communication, it isn't limited to business deals or financial success. It's about making people feel seen, heard, and valued. It's about giving them the tools to change their lives, whether it's through building a business, transforming their health, or in many cases, simply finding their own voice. When we pitch with purpose, we don't just close deals, we open doors. We create opportunities, not just for ourselves, but others. We inspire action. And in doing so, I believe we create a legacy of impact that lives on long after the pitch is over. So I hope you enjoyed these stories. They're just a few examples of how pitching can create real tangible change in people's lives. So whether it's empowering an entrepreneur to believe in themselves, inspiring someone to take control of their health, or helping a business owner find the confidence to grow their company, the impact of what I believe we do goes way beyond the moment of pitch. It's about creating a ripple effect, a wave of change that spreads from person to person, touching lives, inspiring action, and building a legacy of empowerment and possibly success, right? So I hope that you appreciate this. I hope that you understand the concept and the process of impact that you can really do when you can organize your words, organize your thoughts, and convey them to someone else to get them to want to take an action. That's simply my definition of pitch. That and my 3 E's. It is so important to excite, engage, and enroll other people. All right. Well, I would like to bring everything together and kind of just expand on that concept while I have you here. And again, make sure you check below to engage with me, to train with me. I have some really fun training courses, and I do most of them live. Here's the thing about impact as I've been thinking about it. Impact doesn't end with you. It begins with you. You know, as I look back in my career, one of the most powerful lessons I've learned is that the greatest impact we often make isn't something that we can measure immediately. It's not the dollars and cents and the sales you make. It's something that grows, evolves, and takes on a life of its own. So when you share your gifts with the world, and I encourage you to do that, whether it's through pitching or teaching or simply living your truth, the ripple effect you create can go far beyond whatever you imagined. Now, building a community of impact, well, one of my most fulfilling parts of my journey has been creating a community of like-minded individuals. You can find us on Facebook. It's called EEC, the Entrepreneurial, what is it called? It's so funny, I just blanked on. It's called the EEC, Entrepreneur Engagement Circle, I think. I had just kind of a brain fart there. Look up my name, Forbes Riley. Oh, and the Entrepreneurs Empowerment Circle. Please check it out, EEC on Facebook, yes. Or you can find me on Instagram. But that's so funny, I had a total moment. It's very late at night and I've been teaching all day. So thank you for understanding. So whether it's through my Facebook group, my inner circle, or my live trainings, I have one coming up, by the way. It's called the Forbes Factor Live, ForbesFactorLiveTraining.com. There's only like 3 or 4 seats left. It's live and there's only 40 people in the room and it's wildly affordable. But I tend to reserve those seats for students only. If you're interested, see if we have any space left down below, ForbesFactorLiveTraining.com. I've had the privilege over decades of teaching people, creating a space where people can come together, support one another, and grow. And that's my favorite part of this legacy. Because community for me isn't about business. It is about empowerment, even though I couldn't remember that word. It's about a place where it's safe to share your ideas, be vulnerable, ask for what you need, and learn from other successes and from their failures. We monitor all of our groups very carefully. I don't let any trolls in there. I want to make sure that when you share something or you're asking for help or you're feeling down, that I have over 10,000 people, that we come to your rescue on some level, that you make new friends and that you feel loved on. See, I think love is what's missing from a lot of A lot of the work that I see, a lot of the people who are selling products, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in here. And I think the power of a community, it can amplify the impact of everybody inside of that community. When you share your story, your struggles, your wins, you're not just helping yourself. You're helping everyone around you realize that we can all achieve greatness. As Les Brown says, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. And that's how I think impact expands, through connections, communications, support, and love on one another. And then my other favorite word is about permission. You know, a key to expanding your impact is by embracing what I call the permission mindset. So often we hold ourselves back because we're waiting for someone else to give us permission. Permission to speak up, permission to pursue our dreams, permission to succeed. Well, here's the truth. Permission is not something you have to give yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not something, I really am tired. Oh, permission is not something that you have to wait, but you do have to grant it for yourself. I have a card, a thing that says, and I look in the mirror and I invite everyone to do this. It says, I hereby grant you permission to fill in the blank. See, I realized very early on that no one was going to give me permission, certainly not to live the life I wanted, because people would put me down all the time, think my dreams were out of whack. I'm a visionary. I see things that aren't there. How can other people see them? I had to then implement them and make them real. But that's with a lot of people. You know, Edison had some crazy dreams about light bulbs and electricity, and Tesla had some crazy dreams, and Elon Musk, I'm going to Mars. I mean, seriously? And that's what you have to pitch to get other people to see a vision that doesn't quite exist yet. So what I did was I flipped a switch, and I decided that I was going to step into my own power and ask for what I wanted. Grant myself permission to believe it's already happened, to manifest it. In fact, I call it Forbesing it. You know what Forbesing it means? Forbesing it means to manifest something, especially when no one else thinks it's possible. Here's a question for you. What have you Forbes lately? And I want to encourage you all to think about that. What have you created lately? Stop waiting for someone else to open a door for you or give you a key. You, my friend, right now, you have the power to ask for what you deserve, to pitch your ideas, and to make your impact. To give yourself permission to be successful, to believe that you're enough, to maybe lose those last 25 pounds, to take on the world in any way that you imagine. The moment you give yourself permission, I promise, you open up to endless possibilities, not just for yourself, but for everyone that you touch. So living and leaving a legacy of impact, wow, what an interesting concept, right? You know, at this point in my career, I think a lot about legacy, the legacy I want to leave behind. I've been very fortunate to have incredible experiences. I've met amazing people, some of the greatest people to ever walk this planet, from Jack LaLanne and Body by Jake. And I've met, I don't want to mention the politicians I've met, but I've met lots of active presidents and heads of states and CEOs of companies. There's still some I'd love to meet. But I will tell you what, when I meet them and I ask them how they got there, I hear the same kind of things. They believed it was possible, especially when no one else didn't. I've achieved some of the successes beyond my wildest dreams, and I hope that comes true for you. Because to me, that's what leaving a legacy of impact means. I want my legacy to be one of empowerment, where people look back and say, you know, because of that Forbes Riley, I believe in myself. I found my voice. I transformed my life. See, impact isn't about being in the spotlight or achieving fame. It's about leaving the world a little better than you found it. It's about lifting others up, helping them realize their potential, and inspiring them to go after their dreams with everything they've got. And I promise when you do that, the impact doesn't stop with you. It carries on in the lives of everyone you touch. I believe that in every pitch is an opportunity to create impact. Whether you're pitching an idea, a product, or even yourself, you have the power to inspire others, to make someone feel seen, and to help them believe in a better future. The magic happens when you shift your mindset from transactional to transformational. So instead of thinking, well, how can I close this deal? Why don't you say to yourself, how can I help this person see what's possible for them? That's where the real impact lies, not in the transaction, but in the transformation. So as I close and I leave you guys, I want to leave you with this thought. What kind of impact do you want to make? It doesn't have to be a world changing, certainly not like that. But each of us has the power to create ripples of effect, no matter how small. Every conversation, every pitch, every connection that you make is an opportunity for you to leave your mark, touch a life, and expand your influence. You know, the legacy we leave, it isn't built in a day, but it is built in small moments, simple acts and genuine connections that we make along the way. I hope I've connected to you in some way. And if I have, please reach out to me. Say hi on Facebook or on social media. Let me know that maybe I touched your heart. Maybe you did something differently because of what you heard today, right? So whether you're pitching an idea, you're creating a team, you're mentoring someone, you're just starting out, remember, your impact matters. And the most incredible part of that, it doesn't stay with you. It grows, it multiplies, and it can change lives forever. My call to you is this: flip the switch in your own life. Step into your power. Give yourself permission to make an impact. Because here's what I think the world needs you. Maybe you want to build communities where empowerment thrives. You want to surround yourself with people who lift each other up and share in success. Embrace this permission mindset. Stop waiting for approval. Give yourself permission to create the life and impact that you desire. Leave a legacy of transformation, just not transactions. Measure your success by how many lives you changed, not how many deals you closed. I appreciate your time in sharing this moment with me. My name is Forbes Riley. Forbes is in the magazine, Riley is in the good life. I am very committed to the concept of elevating, educating, enlightening, and empowering people just like you. I urge you to look below, come take one of my live trainings, come meet me on a Zoom call, and maybe come to my studio and meet live. It's a beautiful world that I live in, and you know why? I created it. I spent too long playing to other rules, not setting enough boundaries. I've learned a lot of lessons in my 64 years. Don't take as long as I did. Go out there, make an impact, make the world a better place, and I'll see you on the other side.